What's up, everyone? It is Diecastbuffet here again with the 2025 NASCAR Xfinity Series Diecast. This being Harrison Burton's Dead on Tools number 25 Ford Mustang, a NASCAR Advent Calendar exclusive car. And I honestly didn't have any expectations of this diecast getting made. And to further prove that point, this is the first ever Xfinity diecast made for Harrison Burton. Let's go ahead and check it out. And here we go, folks, for today's diecast review. The Harrison Burton car. Man, I tell you, when I saw the box artwork for this diecast, I was like, wow, they're actually making it. Unfortunately, like a month or two later, they announced, well, he's not returning to, I believe this is AM Racing. Not PM Racing, you know, AM, PM. I'll stop. Anyways, what a cool design for a livery, by the way. And it's the first ever Harrison Burton Xfinity car to be produced in the 1/64 scale, which the reason why that's so astounding is he was a full-time driver for not only Joe Gibbs Racing, but he also won 3 races there, I believe. I think it was 3 or 4. So the fact that, he's, Burton, get the last name, you got the popularity from, the Burton family, and then he's winning, and then he's driving for, at the time, pretty much the best team in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, Joe Gibbs Racing, which this was back when Kyle Busch was still driving, so he would show up and, win his fair share. It was just astounding that they never made a 1/64 for that. And then in 2025, at least we got the number 25 car produced. Go to the front of the diecast here. Naturally, with it being a NASCAR Authentics diecast, there is no front window print. It's okay. I can care less about that. It still looks fine to me. It just kind of takes you back to like 2015, 2016 Cup cars when they didn't always have our, 2011. That's what I'm thinking. I gotta go way further back when they had no window banners. So I can live with that. Got Dead on Tools right there on the front of the diecast. Notice the stripe is actually a diamond plate pattern. Very cool. Got the charcoal color to the car. It's kind of like it's a lighter charcoal, I guess you could say. It's not a dark gray, but it's definitely more of a lighter gray. Go to the front of the diecast here. You have that Ford Mustang headlights, which the diecast mold for the Mustangs, I want to say, is the same since 2020 and very close since 2017 or 2018. Very minimal changes to the actual casting. The headlight decals have changed throughout the years. I think the real car has maybe a little bit of a different valence, but I'm not going to go crazy over it. You have the Ford decal there, which might be the smallest Ford decal I've ever seen on the nose of a Ford stock car. That's very, it almost looks like the decal they would put on the back bumper of the Ford Tauruses, which was always a small blue oval logo. Got the number 25 on the left side, Simpson, ARP, and Sunoco. You have your black splitter. There's the bottom portion. There's the top portion. And then you have the AM Racing logo, which I think the headlight on this one might be a little bit off because it does look like a little bit wrinkled on the left side, and then perhaps they cut off the AM Racing logo a little bit. I don't know. It's okay though, man. Look, it's not going to be perfect, right? They make a lot of cars. You're gonna have a few oopsie doos, so to speak. Go to the left side of the car. I like the name rail for Harrison Burton. That's a cool design to it, a little bit of old school, a little bit of new school with 2 different fonts. Got airbox there. We did get the Haley Deegan airbox car for, 2024, which was a AM Racing car. So that's 2 years in a row, I believe, that they've had AM Racing cars. The B-post decal looks a little higher up than normal. We got Ford, airbox, something, and then I have no idea what that one is. Got Dead on Tools, Made to Live Out Loud. Dex imaging there. Wix Air Filters, Morton Buildings, you have the 25. Notice the stripe kind of vanishes here. You have the little skull thingy, their logo. So that's kind of cool how it's in the paint scheme. And they're using a little bit of the real estate that was once occupied with the contingencies. I like seeing teams do that. Sometimes they'll put like a sponsor placement of a product or whatnot in this area on the Xfinity cars to kind of take up the real estate that the contingencies, a decade ago would, obviously have. So I think that's a cool thing. It adds a little bit more depth to the paint scheme. And it's a better compromise, I feel like, than moving the door number up. Like, not to go on a rant, but I feel like that would have looked a little bit better, in my opinion, if they would just, maybe the sponsors get a little bit more creative right here with the contingency panel. So they're able to get their advertising, but they don't have to move the door number, so to speak. Got the Goodyear decal, which is a little bit off there. Got Xfinity Series, which ripped the Xfinity Series. Unfortunately, 2025 would be its last year. Now it's the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, I think. Got Cometic there, Lincoln Welders, Holly MSD, and then 2 other decals there. Go to the caboose of the diecast. You have Dead on Tools once again. You can see the consistent theme of having a cutout where the stripes. You can see it on the roof, door panel, and on the back panel. You have Ford, which the Ford decal looks a little bit different. I don't know if this is based on a later paint scheme in 2025, but I remember them having a little bit more of a background behind the Ford logo. Got AM Racing on the left side, the 25 on the right side. The whole back panel decal is a little bit off, to be honest. On the right side of the diecast here, and the 25 looks like it might be a little bit off here. I'm not sure. Let's see. See, that side, it's a little bit further back, closer to the stripe. On this side, it's a little bit more forward, so I'm not too sure on that. But regardless, man, if you're a fan of Harrison Burton, this is his first ever Xfinity car. Get it while you can with the Advent calendar set. Highly recommend it. I don't know how many they're making of that, but when you think about all the exclusives in this diecast set, you have the race to win for Christopher Bell, you have the Corey Heim truck, the clean version of his championship truck. That thing could be one of the most difficult diecasts to get from 2025, considering, if Corey Heim, I don't know how many years he's going to race, right? But if he races like 10, 15 years, right? I don't care what he does in terms of statistics, but having that dominant of a season, and that's the only way you can get the clean 164, it has all the makings of being one of the rarest truck diecasts outside of promos, obviously, ever produced. So that's just 2 examples, right? And then if you're a fan of the NASCAR Xfinity Series, you have the Justin Allgaier, you have the Harrison Burton, you have the William Sawalich. I mean, so many great diecasts that, exclusive to the set only. Dead on Tools right there on the top of the car, but number 25. Notice the inversion of the 25 color palette, which this one has white, gray, and then black. This one has just black and then white, with the gray being obviously the background effect of the car. Yeah, Dead on Tools right there on the deck lid. And this is a great diecast for just any diecast series. Even if for 2026, you could probably use this car if you really wanted to, because it doesn't have window banners, you know what I'm saying? It's not going to stick out so much in a diecast series. But the last few years for NASCAR Xfinity collectors has been absolutely amazing. Just simply amazing. When you look at how many unique numbers have gotten produced, we have not seen nowhere near the amount of the second tier, whether it's Nationwide, Busch Series, etc. We have not seen that many cars produced, possibly since the 2000s. I mean, there was, 2013, 2014, 2015 even. They were cranking out a lot of them. But outside of Joe Gibbs Racing, and then JRM, and then maybe, RCR/KHI, Type Energy, there wasn't a whole bunch of them. Let's just keep it real. Nowadays, we're getting, cars from Joey Gabe's Motorsports, BJ McLeod's team. This one right here, AM Racing. There's, oh my goodness, what is it? DGM? I think they're getting a diecast, or they already had diecast made, actually. Multiple ones, to be honest with you. The other day, I saw a truck diecast. I think it was number 76 or something. I don't even remember the driver's name. It looked like a promo diecast. It was such a random truck 164, and it actually got made. What I'm trying to say is that for the lower series, they really are making a comeback, especially for the Xfinity, diecast collectors. So awesome stuff, unique numbers. If you do stop motions, you do, diecast series, perfect timing for them to kind of show back up. Plus the MOQ being lower in 2026, it has all the makings of being even better, potentially. That's all for now, fellas. Thank you all for watching the video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Get the Advent calendar set over there at Circle B Diecast while supplies last. Use promo code Diecastbuffet, and you can save on shipping. That's all for now. DB, signing off.